The year was 2015, and it felt like every major studio wanted to dig up their past to rehash their old franchises. This one was once called Jurassic Park, but in this new age, they renamed the franchise World because it's bigger, scarier, and it's got a lot of Chris Pratt acting like he's got everything under control. Jurassic World is a fresh revitalization of the previous 3 installments. I'm mostly talking about JP3. We begin the film with 2 young boys, Zach, the older bro, and Gray, his kid brother, getting to go on a vacation to Isla Nublar, to the newly rebuilt Jurassic World to hang out with their aunt Claire. Strange fun fact, it's Christmas time, so technically this is a Christmas film, and more uniquely, they released this in the summer. Just wanted to share that with everyone. Claire is an uptight businesswoman who is tasked with running the day-to-day operations of the park, while on the other hand, her boss and owner of Jurassic World, Simon Masrani, the 8th richest man in the world who enjoys dinosaurs and wanted to share them with the world, much like John Hammond, the creator of the original Jurassic Park. Claire takes Masrani to the new exhibit that holds a brand new dinosaur called Indominus Rex. We only see a little of her, but it's enough for Masrani to want his raptor guy to take a look. His name is Owen Grady. Owen and Claire know each other because apparently before this story was told, they tried to date, but Claire didn't like how laid back he is. Again, she's very stern and dedicated towards her job, so much that her nephews barely see her before being dragged away by some woman who acts like a babysitter. Owen is our action guy, who's ex-military and was hired by InGen to train velociraptors in hopes they can be used for military force. The leader of this project is none other than Kingpin himself. Sorry.
These animals could replace thousands of boots on the ground. How many lives would that save?
Owen loves his raptors, but thinks Vic Hoskins is wrong about the animals. During their argument, an emergency call is made from the park that an asset is loose. The asset is Indominus, who is missing and left claw marks on the wall in her habitat, making everyone think she climbed over it. Owen and 2 randos go into the closure, only for Indominus to reveal she was altering her body heat to hide from the people so they'd come in. This is when she attacks. Indominus is the real star of the film, and the rest of the events that take place are directly tied to her and her carnage. Taking her down requires a lot of gunpowder, humans, and a couple of raptors. So we've got some awesome dinosaurs in this film, and they expand upon what we've already seen in the past installments. Here are a few I wanted to point out. We'll start with Indominus Rex, a large bipedal creature whose appearance is white. Her DNA is made up of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, Velociraptor, and various other dinos to help build out her size, and interestingly enough, to give her those front arms. These arms are incredibly handy for her when tearing through her opponents, like when she takes down the T-Rex in the finale. She also has non-dino DNA, which comes from cuttlefish, tree frogs, and pit vipers. The cuttlefish is for her ability to camouflage with her environment, while the pit viper gives her the ability to open her mouth wider than most dinosaurs. The tree frog, because that's how John Hammond and Dr. Wu created the original dinosaurs. She was hatched alongside her sibling, but she soon committed cannibalism, which should have been your first clue that there's something wrong with this creature. Because of this behavior, they chose to raise her away from other dinosaurs. Once she begins to understand how her enclosure works, she crafts a plan to lure people in so she can break out. This intelligence is from the Velociraptor. And again, she removes her tracker because she remembers where it was implanted. As Indominus scours the island, she commits another heinous crime in the animal kingdom, killing without need. She's a dino serial killer. This is what freaks out Owen the most. But what freaks me out is that she's shot multiple times by large guns and rockets and she keeps moving. Like when Masrani flies the helicopter after her, shooting a minigun, but they failed of course, and she breaks into an aviary. In this aviary, there are 2 different kinds of pterosaurs. This was a real treat for us because these guys aren't actually related to dinosaurs. They are flying reptiles that lived at the same time of the dinosaurs. Yes, we get some cool scenes in the 3rd film, but in this movie, once she busts open the cage, the pterosaurs are free to roam the world, and the first thing they do is hit up Main Street, picking off frightened tourists one by one. This won't last long because once Owen and Claire make it back to the park proper, Owen and a small team of riflemen quickly disperse the flying creatures. But the pterosaurs get a nasty kill when one of them picks up the kid's babysitter and they toss her around like a plaything before dropping her into a large body of water. Then they begin flying into the water to grab her up again, carrying her back high into the sky before Mosasaurus reaches its head out and eats her whole and the pterosaur at the same time. Mosasaurus is the thing that scares me the most in this film. Water creatures are the things of my nightmares. I'm not kidding, sometimes I have to physically cover my eyes if these creatures are shown on TV. The addition of a water-based dinosaur in the park is something many fans wanted, and even some of the JP games would play into this gimmick. Sadly, she is the only water-based creature that is shown throughout the rest of the World trilogy, but somehow I'm fine with it. Mosasaurus does, however, get another badass moment at the end when the T-Rex and Blue back Indominus into a corner. Indominus lets out a war cry before Mosasaurus reaches out of the water from behind and grabs her, dragging her down into the dark depths. Ultimately, in the end, you have to kill Indominus. What Indominus means for the franchise is a breath of fresh air. There were original plans written up for what would have been called Jurassic Park 4, where the idea was to make dinosaur-human hybrids with dog DNA to be used as a military application. This bonkers idea clearly got reworked into the velociraptors being somewhat trainable, and the hybrid dino idea was spun out into a creature called Indominus Rex, which would be the proto of Indominus. So what I'm getting at is that this movie could have been a lot weirder. How does Jurassic World compare to Jurassic Park? Not much other than some returning or mentioning of previous characters. Jurassic Park was written as a book first before being adapted, and it was focusing on how bringing back dinosaurs is a terrible idea. That dinner scene where Dr. Malcolm talks about chaos theory. Of course, both stories tell about how the dinos break free from their habitats and rampage around the island, hunting out human characters along the way. But World stays in its lane, and it's an action film, while the original was more of a survival sci-fi that had action moments. Conclusion, 3 out of 5 stars. Why? My god, I love dinosaurs, and this movie is a treat, but there are just too many human characters. Like Indominus being free was more than enough of a problem, but to add the kids in, they don't have much to add, while Owen is your stereotypical hero guy from the 1990s. Also, seeing T-Rex and Blue team up, or even better, when Owen has the other two raptors attack Indominus while he's firing at it. The movie just lets go of reality in a horribly cheesy way. By the end of this film, I felt like I was watching a cheap, lazy remake of Jurassic Park, but a kid wrote the script this time. Also, the last line in this film. It was so bad that the moment the Reddits rolled, I turned it off. Check it out here.
Probably stick together. For survival.
Hey, I hope everyone enjoys this review. Despite my disappointment with this installment, I'm extremely excited for the new one, Rebirth. I just want to know what's up with Disastrous Rex. Bye bye.